Now at 5, it's move-in day at Missouri Southern as students prepare for a new school year. Plus, what parents might want to know before their children walk to school and
at least 9 GOP presidential hopefuls say they've qualified for next week's R.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri Southern students today take a leap into their futures as they prepare for the start of classes next week. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. For some students, back to school means leaving home and settling into a new residence. Students at Missouri Southern State University moved onto campus today. MSSU is welcoming students with activities leading up to the first day of class. Move-in started at 10 a.m. and Missouri Southern's residential director says it's an all-day affair.
We have our RAs stationed at the desk, but also helping move and holding doors, and us RDs are here just kind of running around putting out fires, but that's normal for us.
MSSU is welcoming students with a variety of activities throughout the week. It's back to school for a lot of families in the 4 states, and it also means many kids will be walking to and from school. Crawford County Sheriff Danny Smith wants to remind parents that not every home along their route is considered a safe house. That's because the state of Kansas doesn't have housing and loitering restrictions for registered sex offenders like other states, such as Missouri and Oklahoma.
So it's definitely a good time to start talking to your kids, including if you got younger kids. You need to start talking about knowing your address and your phone number, where safe places to go if you felt like you were unsafe.
Join us for a special report tonight at 6 and 10. KOAM's Tanya Bach is going to talk with parents and law enforcement about concerns over the sex offender next door to your child's school, daycare, or the park where they play. Nice weather out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane.
Yeah, we had another beautiful day across the 4 states this afternoon. We just have a dry front moving through right now with just a few high, thin cirrus clouds, making it a little bit of hazy sunshine. But this morning, temperatures were very, very pleasant, generally low to mid 60s across the area. And then this afternoon, the temperatures really started to warm up into the low to mid 80s, even some 90s out to the west. And those 90s are going to start creeping back into our forecast. But this evening, we have temperatures dropping through the 80s to the 70s to about 59 degrees by tomorrow morning. So another cool morning down the lane. We're going to be seeing that tonight, and then warmer Friday and a hot weekend. And also the drought is going to continue, and I'll tell you more about that in our forecast in just a little while.
See you soon. The death toll on Maui now stands at 111 following last week's devastating wildfires. So far, only about 38% of the disaster area has been searched. And officials fear because school was out, many of the victims yet to be found could very well be children. Emergency managers are now defending their decision not to activate warning sirens, suggesting they might have confused residents who are used to hearing tsunami alerts. Former President Donald Trump has used his legal troubles to actually raise money for his presidential campaign. But his Republican primary opponents are still struggling to get their messages heard over the media coverage of the court battles. Natalie Brand has more details from Washington, D.C.
Former President Donald Trump campaigns in Tennessee Thursday, holding his first fundraiser since his latest indictment in Georgia.
These legal problems actually give Trump the ability to go back to his contributors and say, look, they're persecuting me. You need to give me more money.
While polls show Trump remains the front runner, George Washington University professor Todd Belt says it's still early.
Polls are traditionally quite variable this early on. And the reason for that is because a lot of these candidates really haven't introduced themselves to voters yet.
They'll try to make their case on the debate stage next week in Milwaukee. At least 9 presidential hopefuls say they've met RNC requirements, but Trump hasn't yet said whether he'll attend.
Speaking to CBS Mornings, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum says he's among those candidates trying to break through.
In terms of breaking through, we've just been in this race a little over 2 months. People are just getting to know us.
GOP voters in Iowa will have the first say, which explains why candidates have descended on the state fair. Some voters who previously supported Trump say they're now looking for someone new.
He's putting down the other political candidates in the Republican Party, and I've had enough of it myself.
The former president, who faces 91 felony counts in 4 different cases, wants his trials held after the 2024 election. But prosecutors are pushing to start as early as January, meaning the cases could be playing out during the beginning of primary season. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Special counsel Jack Smith wants the January 6th case to begin at the start of January, before the Iowa caucuses on January 15th. The Fulton County District Attorney wants the Georgia case to begin March 4th, one day before Super Tuesday. President Trump calls the legal cases election interference. The parents of school shooting victim Joaquin Oliver, killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, led this caravan of 23 empty school buses today from Washington, D.C. to the NRA headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia. The empty seats on the buses represent the 1,518 children killed by guns so far this year. A little later, a budgeting lesson for students.
College kids are heading off to school. I'm Jill Schlesinger with tips to make sure students don't fail financially.
But first, in Health Watch, how parents can help students deal with school-related stress. Topping today's Health Watch, research published in the online issue of Neurology shows only a small percentage of patients with early dementia are eligible for new Alzheimer's drugs. Doctors say chronic health conditions and brain scan abnormalities are the main reasons why people don't qualify for and are therefore excluded from the clinical trials. The new monoclonal antibody treatments have received accelerated approval from the FDA. Researchers at the University of Michigan have identified a drug that might help children with a certain type of brain tumor, which until now had no effective treatments. The compound, called ONC201, nearly doubled survival for patients with diffuse midline glioma. Previously, the only available treatment was radiation, and that presented challenges because the tumors are usually located in brain regions with critical functions. Heading back to school can be stressful for children, especially if they found the previous school year to be challenging. Reporter Danya Bacchus has details on resources to help parents address these concerns before they turn into bigger problems.
Fifth grader Sophia Schmidt has been dealing with anxiety since she was in kindergarten. Her mother, Megan, says it started affecting her behavior.
Retreating from activities that she's always loved to do, wanting to stay closer to myself and my husband.
They say therapy helped address it, but once the pandemic hit, Sophia's fears of getting sick made it difficult for her to return to school. Even now, she feels anxious starting a new school year.
What are some of the things that kind of worry you or make you a little nervous about going back to school?
Meeting new people, and also if my teacher's nice.
According to a new survey, 71% of parents say something made the previous school year challenging for their child.
Parents identified safety concerns, academics, bullying, and mental health concerns, as well as social connection, as the top concerns that they saw their kids struggling with.
Dr. Whitney Ragland Bignall is a pediatric psychologist and associate clinical director for On Our Sleeves, a movement for children's mental health.
We have to start having conversations and start to see what they're thinking and feeling, how they thought last year went.
To help facilitate those discussions, On Your Sleeves has created resources for parents, which include conversation starters. Megan and Sophia say they've helped.
I don't always know the right questions to get to the root. Some suitable questions to ask to try to get there has been very, very helpful.
It helps a lot because I feel like I can get it off my mind and help me not worry.
And feel less stress with the anticipation of the new school year. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Experts say parents should continue to check in with their child during the school year and problem solve as a family and the teacher to address issues that arise. And there's a new smartphone app designed to help people, especially college students, cut down on heavy alcohol use. Students in Switzerland who use the app say they reduced their drinking significantly. It allowed them to, among other things, monitor and record their alcohol consumption and set goals for healthier drinking habits. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, how a Webb City museum is celebrating the history of humans taking to the sky.
And the skies have been hazy this afternoon, but we have some warmer weather heading our way for the weekend. Your forecast when we come back. Well, friends, we had another nice day across the 4 states with temperatures below normal once again, including Seneca, Missouri, and Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, where there's a little bit of hazy sunshine out there. We've had a wind shift line move through the area, and that's going to introduce some drier air for the overnight lows tonight. There's the high today of 87, which was 3 degrees below the normal. Same thing on the low, 65 this morning. Normally it's 68, and of course we're starting the downhill slide now, beginning yesterday and today. The average high now is only 90, and it's going to continue to fall as we go towards fall. And right now we're still way behind on the rainfall, though, about 8.5 inches below where we should be. Rain right now is not anywhere to be found anywhere in the 4-state area, just lots of sunshine and a little bit comfortable temperatures out there. Right now it's 85 in Carthage, 86 in Stockton, 83 over there in Monette. But notice out to the west, it's already 90 in Sedan and Neodesha as well as Chanute. And those 90s are going to be heading in our direction. But tonight, we get another blast of some drier air moving in from the north. You can see the dew points down to 51 in Iola, 60 in Fort Scott. But notice as you go south, we start getting into the 70s. So we have a range of comfortable dew points up to the north and kind of sticky down to the south. So right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 86 degrees, but notice the wind is out of the north at 6. The dew point is 65, but that's going to be dropping as we go through the evening hours. Humidity right now at 49%, and the pressure is currently steady. Rainfall chances are going to be pretty close to 0 for the next 36 hours. And the good news is the drought situation is improved across most of Oklahoma and western Kansas. And would you know it, the bullseye of the drought right now is centered on Chautauqua and Elk, as well as a part of Montgomery counties where exceptional drought still ongoing. Also, there's been some improvement in Missouri, but still extreme drought for Vernon as well as Cedar counties. Hopefully we can get some more rainfall in here, but it's going to be a while before we start to see that. And that's because we have this ridge of high pressure that's sitting over us and is going to continue to build as we go through the weekend, pushing all the storm activity up to the north and also to the east. And this high is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And instead, we're going to see warmer temperatures as we go through the weekend. So tonight we have some drier air moving in. So we'll see lows in the 50s up to the north, 60s to the south. And then the warm front will move and sweep across our area during the day tomorrow. So we'll see temperatures closer to normal, upper 80s, lower 90s. And then as we go into Saturday, we're going to see temperatures in the 70s, 60s up to the north, 70s down to the south. And Saturday afternoon, pretty toasty day. Temperatures upper 90s, even 100 out towards the west. And those hundreds are going to get real close to us as we go through the rest of the weekend. And Sunday morning, we're going to see lows in the 70s. Over the next 7 days, it gets hotter as we go towards Sunday with a high of 99. Then we start to cool it off just a little bit as we go into the early part of next week. A slight chance of storms on Friday and Saturday of next week. But this dry pattern is going to be sticking around for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a year now, more
Pretty
than that
much,
already.
yeah.
Thanks, Sam. Hey, people are gathering in downtown Joplin at this moment for tonight's third Thursday event. This is a live look at the site of the event. It officially begins at 5:30. The theme tonight is Dog Days, and as you might imagine, there'll be plenty of dog-related activities to help keep you and your pup busy. Those include a dog costume contest, an agility course, dog ice cream, and a whole lot of giveaways. As always, there'll also be food, drinks, and entertainment for humans as well. A museum in Webb City is celebrating human flight. The Freedom of Flight Museum and Aerospace Science and Technology Center is hosting a 3-day event in honor of Orville Wright's birthday. Kicked off today with an aviation history exhibit, a space room, and flight simulator.
Their chance to get people interested and involved in aviation here at the local Joplin Airport and the other airports around the area. We have a number of aircraft businesses, or aerospace businesses here in Joplin. And people probably don't know about that, but they are a big economic supporter for Joplin.
That event continues through Saturday, which is Aviation Day. Other events will include STEM activities and a presentation about the World War I memoir, Luck on the Wing. Coming up, we're going to take a look at some tips to help college students learn more about budgeting. A recall tops today's Consumer Watch. Gree Electric Appliances of China is recalling more than 1.5 million dehumidifiers after they were linked to nearly 24 fires. The recall impacts dozens of models between made between January of 2011 and February of 2014, sold under brand names including Kenmore and GE. Separately, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is warning about the continued risk of GREE dehumidifiers that have been linked to 450 fires and possibly 4 deaths. If you're sending your kids off to college, it's time to prepare them financially for the transition. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has some tips.
College students heading to school need an education on how to track money. Start with money coming in, like cash from a work study, a summer job, or from the family. And then the dreaded expense side of the equation. There are lots of apps like Mint, Pocket Guard, Good Budget, and others that can help manage money. But a simple spreadsheet can also do the job. Next, many college kids get credit cards. Anyone 18 or older can apply, but must have proof of income to be approved. Without that, those under 21 must have a co-signer on the account like a parent. One alternative, parents can help kids open a secured credit card, which requires a refundable cash deposit. Or they can add students as authorized users on their own accounts, which allows kids to spend and build a credit history. One note of caution, if junior goes wild with the card, parents are on the hook for the charges. Finally, in this day of peer-to-peer money transfers, students still need a bank account. You can keep them at your bank and link the accounts so that you can keep an eye on what's going on and transfer money to the account seamlessly. When you open the account, teach kids about compound interest, insidious fees like minimum balance and overdraft protection, and electronic bill paying. In New York, I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Third-party sellers on Amazon will soon be charged extra fees for not using the company's shipping service. The e-commerce site says starting October 1st, members of its seller-fulfilled Prime program will need to pay a 2% fee on each sale. The program allows sellers to use a Prime badge on its listing without going through Amazon's fulfillment service. Sellers are also required as part of the program to fulfill 1- and 2-day shipping orders. America's largest retailer appears to be making gains at the expense of Target and Home Depot, as those big box retailers are reporting a bit of a slump. More shoppers are heading to Walmart for groceries and essentials. Walmart is raising its full-year outlook for sales, citing a stronger performance than expected during the first half of the year. Sales of groceries and health and wellness products are up significantly over the prior year. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, meet the soldier who walked through torrential wind and rain to honor America's fallen heroes. Then on KOAM News at 6, Tanya Bach's special report on what parents might not know about the sexual offender list. Plus, we're going to meet a Missouri Southern freshman exploring her new surroundings on this move-in day. And we'll check in with the Parsons Vikings football team as they prepare for the new season. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Some fossils uncovered along Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, could be up to 100,000 years old. A very low tide revealed this fossilized beach is almost as old as Earth's most recent ice age. A local expert says remains like these are often right under the feet of beachgoers and swimmers. Usually a thin layer of sand covers them closer to shore. Farther out in the water, they create a good habitat for fish.
An ice age would sure feel good right about now.
Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe not an ice
well,
age.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe not for, an age anyway, but briefly it would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice, especially after this weekend with temperatures approaching 100 degrees. Yet again, I didn't put it on there, but wouldn't be surprised to see a few spots hit 100. And then we get a little bit cooler as we go towards the latter part of next week with a chance of showers. But at least we are on the downhill trajectory for the rest of the summer.
That's good.
Climatologically.
Let's hope we don't see any more of those triple digits.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We're going to leave you tonight with another live look at the third Thursday event just getting underway in downtown Joplin. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 6. Let's make it a great evening.